Well, Happy New Year, and welcome to this month's Economic Update. My name is Mike Mott with Mott & Associates. We're right here in the beginning of 2015. We're going to talk about our December 2014 Economic Update. In this video, we'll be discussing some of the economic events that occurred last month, hopefully to give you some insight as to what they mean for you as an investor. And when I'm done, please stay tuned. Do me a favor and stay tuned for that required disclosure statement at the end. Well, December was a fickle month for markets. It forced investors to weigh positive domestic fundamentals against fresh worries from abroad. So let's take a look at what happened last month. Falling oil prices caused a lot of market uncertainty as investors grappled with what low prices mean for the economy. Since the highs in June, oil prices have fallen nearly 50%. And while cheap oil and gas are great news for American consumers, remember putting more money in their pockets around the holiday season of the year, it was bad news for oil producers. Countries like Russia and Saudi Arabia depend on oil revenues to balance their budgets. American producers need higher oil prices to make oil-related research and development projects economically feasible. If prices stayed too low for too long, it could destabilize a number of petroleum-based economies, as well as shut down some of the U.S. oil projects. Holiday shopping kicked off in November as usual, despite remember that lackluster Black Friday weekend we talked about? Well, retailers continue to hope that the cheap prices of gas and the improving labor market might boost sales. On one hand, sales between November and December are projected to grow by more than 4%, the biggest increase since 2011. On the other hand, stores offered large discounts to lure those shoppers in, which may cut into their profit margins. The Commerce Department released another revised estimate of the GDP, showing the economy grew by a whopping 5% in the third quarter of 2014. Now, folks, that's the fastest rate of growth since 2003. Even better, the biggest revision was in the area of personal consumption, which is the most important driver of our overall economic growth. Now the question is, how much of that momentum will be carried forward? It's too soon to say for sure, but we hope that cheaper gas prices and a stronger job market did boost the economy in the fourth quarter. So overall, 2014 was a good year for the market and for the economy. And as the recovery moved into its fifth year, we finally regained all those jobs we lost in the recession, and Americans seem to be starting to believe in the economy again. So looking ahead, it's important to be cautious about the markets in the coming days and weeks going forward. Despite periods of volatility in the markets, they actually did very well in 2014, and a pullback on the short term is always possible. Economic fundamentals are solid. We expect to see continued positive consumer sentiment, and if that labor market continues to improve, hopefully that will contribute to positive gains in 2015. On the other hand, significant uncertainty remains about how the weakening global demand, low oil prices, and if those possible interest rate hikes might affect the economy in the future. As always, we recommend you focus on your own investment strategies and your own asset allocation while allowing us to keep an eye on the market conditions. Well, that's it for the January Educational Economic Update. If you have any questions or concerns, please give our office a call at the number below. I hope you've enjoyed watching our economic updates this past year and took away a few things that you can use. And we do look forward to a very prosperous 2015 together. Oh, by the way, here's some upcoming events we'd like you to know about. First of all, the Valentine's Day wine tasting experience. I think we're going to have a good time. We've had several. Most people really love those. And the Pirates are coming back to McKechnie Field for spring training. If you love baseball, we do as well. We have some tickets. Give us a call. Hey, once again, this is Mike Mott from Mott & Associates signing off for the month of January 2015. If you have any questions about what you've heard in this update or would like to discuss your personal financial situation, please give us a call at 941 746-3216, and we'd be happy to talk with you. With that, that's a wrap. Have a good one.
While we believe the information in this report is reliable, we cannot guarantee its accuracy. Opinions expressed are subject to change without notice and are not intended as investment advice or a solicitation for the purchase or sale of any security. Economic forecasts set forth may not develop as predicted, and there can be no guarantee that strategies promoted will be successful. Please consult your financial professional before making any investment decision.